The United Kingdom is witnessing a demographic shift. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the country. The Muslim population has surged in recent decades. In 2011, there were 2.7 million Muslims in the UK. By 2021, this number had grown to 3.9 million. This represents 6.5% of the total UK population. Projections suggest this trend will continue. The Pew Research Centre indicates that Muslims could make up 17% of the UK population by 2050. This prediction is based on moderate migration estimates. The implications of this demographic change are far-reaching. They touch upon various aspects of British society. The growing Muslim population is already visible in everyday life. The name Muhammad and its variants have topped the charts for baby boy names for 6 consecutive years. This signifies the increasing presence of Muslim families. It also reflects the evolving cultural landscape of the UK. However, the growth of Islam in Britain has not been without its challenges. Concerns have arisen regarding the influence of Islamist extremism. This ideology seeks to impose a strict interpretation of Islam on society. It has manifested in various ways, including the targeting of politicians. The integration of Muslim communities into British society has been a subject of ongoing debate. A 2016 report by Policy Exchange shed light on the issue. The report revealed that 93% of British Muslims had parents born outside the UK. This highlights the relatively recent arrival of many Muslim families. Integration involves embracing shared values and participating fully in society. However, surveys have revealed concerning views within segments of the Muslim community. These views relate to sensitive topics such as the 9/11 attacks, Sharia law, and freedom of speech. The 2016 Casey review highlighted integration problems. The review pointed to regressive practices within some communities. It also noted a reluctance among public institutions to address these issues. This reluctance often stems from fear of being labelled Islamophobic. The geographic distribution of Muslim populations has also raised concerns. Muslim communities are often concentrated in specific urban areas. Cities like Bradford, Luton and Birmingham have Muslim populations exceeding 30%. This concentration can lead to segregated communities. It can also hinder interaction and understanding between different groups. The growing presence of Islam is increasingly evident in British culture. Halal food prepared according to Islamic dietary guidelines is now widely available. It is often sold in mainstream supermarkets, sometimes without clear labelling. This has sparked debate about consumer rights and transparency. Islamic festivals such as Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha are also becoming more prominent. These celebrations draw large crowds and are increasingly recognized in the public sphere. This visibility reflects the growing acceptance and understanding of Islamic traditions. The influence of Islamic fashion is also apparent. Mainstream retailers now offer a range of Islamic clothing, including headscarves and modest attire. This reflects the demand from Muslim consumers and the fashion industry's response to changing demographics. However, these cultural shifts have not been universally welcomed. Some commentators, like myself, have expressed concerns about the emergence of Islamic monocultural areas. These are neighborhoods where Islamic values and practices dominate. While not inherently negative, the lack of cultural diversity in these areas raises concerns about social cohesion. Section 4. Fault lines in education. The education sector faces challenges with the integration of Muslim students. Exam scheduling during Ramadan is a point of contention. Exam boards are pressured to reschedule exams. Ramadan involves fasting during daylight hours. Extremist material in some Islamic schools raises concerns. Isolated cases highlight the need for oversight. The government must ensure all schools promote tolerance and British values. Parental protests and school closures reveal tensions. Issues like the hijab and LGBT plus education spark debates. These debates reflect differing cultural norms. The Batley Grammar School incident highlighted blasphemy issues. A teacher was suspended for showing a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad. This ignited a national debate on freedom of speech and religious sensitivities. Section 5. crime, justice, and the shadow of extremism. The intersection of Islam, crime, and justice is a complex and sensitive issue. Statistics show that Muslims are disproportionately represented in the UK prison population. While this over-representation can be attributed to various socio-economic factors, it has fueled concerns about radicalization within prisons. The distribution of extremist literature within prisons is a particular concern. Prison authorities face an ongoing battle to prevent the spread of extremist ideologies that can incite violence and hatred. The rehabilitation of offenders and their reintegration into society are crucial aspects of the justice system. Another concern is the operation of so-called Sharia courts within Muslim communities. These informal tribunals aim to resolve disputes according to Islamic principles. However, critics argue that they lack transparency and can discriminate against women and non-Muslims. The issue of honor-based abuse also requires attention. This form of violence is often directed at women and girls who are perceived to have brought shame upon their families. While not exclusive to Muslim communities, it is a problem that requires a multi-agency response involving police, social services, and community organizations. Section 6. The spectre of Sharia law. The concept of Sharia law evokes strong reactions in the UK. For some, it represents a parallel legal system that undermines British law and values. For others, it is an integral part of their faith that governs their personal and religious lives. An estimated 85 Sharia courts operate in the UK. These courts, often affiliated with mosques, deal with matters such as divorce, inheritance, and family disputes. While their rulings are not legally binding, they can carry significant weight within Muslim communities. The UK government has taken steps to accommodate the financial practices of observant Muslims. Sharia-compliant financial products, which adhere to Islamic prohibitions on interest, are now available. This move has been welcomed by some as a sign of inclusivity. However, the presence of Sharia courts and the availability of Sharia-compliant finance have fueled concerns about the erosion of British law and values. Critics argue that these developments create a two-tiered system that undermines social cohesion. They also raise concerns about the potential for discrimination against non-Muslims. Section 7. A crisis of faith and the allure of Islam. To understand the growth of Islam in the UK, it is essential to consider the perceived failings of British society. Some Muslims view British society as morally and spiritually bankrupt. They see rampant materialism, individualism, and family breakdown as evidence of this decline. In contrast, they view Islam as offering a path to moral rectitude and spiritual fulfillment. The religion's emphasis on family, community, and submission to God's will can be appealing in a society perceived as increasingly fragmented and adrift. The perceived simplicity and clarity of Islam's message also hold appeal. In an age of uncertainty and complexity, the religion's clear-cut rules and rituals can provide a sense of order and purpose. This is particularly true for individuals searching for meaning and belonging. The sense of community and brotherhood found within Islam can also be a powerful draw. Mosques often serve as social hubs, providing support and a sense of belonging, particularly for new immigrants navigating an unfamiliar culture.